I'm Dr. Sara Andreotti. I completed my PhD at the University of Stellenbosch on white shark population dynamic and genetics. The base work of this PhD was trying to understand if we have one population of white shark around the South African coastline, or if we have little groups, little subpopulation around it. Further, with the genetic, we could estimate the population number and double-check estimate based on the photo identification. The white shark are a very good species to take photo ID because their dorsal fin works like a fingerprint. Each individual white shark has a different dorsal fin, and once I get a good photo of it, I can recognize this individual over time. So by doing that, we could count them and get a pretty good estimate of how many white shark we have in South Africa.
I think Sara Andreotti's research is very, very important due to the fact that it proves how little these animals are left, and that basically we have one more generation left before they go extinct.
With the data collected in between 2009 and 2011, we had enough photos to estimate the population size of South African white sharks. We collected about 5,000 photos. And from these photos, I could manually identify 426 sharks. And I would like to underline manually because that took a lifetime. Every time I came back, I was doing this work of checking the photo I took during the day and see if I know this shark before or not. So I would go into my database of fins and check if I met this animal before or not, just visually going through it. Like here I would have a match, and so on. I did this work for the first 3 years, and once the shark is identified, I also had to rename the photo and store it in the right folder, so that then at the end of the period I could extrapolate which shark I saw when and make what is called a capture-recapture matrix, or history of recaptures. And this is the information that programs like MARC uses to estimate the population size. After doing that, I decided that I don't want to do it ever again in my life. So I ran across the Applied Mathematics department of the University of Stellenbosch, and I begged them to make a plan. So they did make a plan.
She came to us because with the use of mathematics and computers, we could do it faster for her and also do it in an unbiased kind of way.
With the computer program the mathematical guys from Stellenbosch created for us, the work couldn't have been done without a program like that. It's just too much work for a person to do manually.
They were very excited to work on white shark because the algorithm they have for image recognition that they're using for other species could work very well for this project.
You upload a photo into the software, and the software finds the edge of the fin. That fin edge is the fingerprint of the shark. It
took a little longer than 2 months to develop the software. The reason for it is the background. When I take a photo, the shark has water in the background. It's not quite the same of taking a picture of a butterfly on a green screen behind.
So the shark is swimming in water, and water is very stormy and uncertain and unstable. So it's very hard to actually find the edge, to know where the fin starts and stops. And then also the fins are taken in various angles. So that also introduces a manner of uncertainty into the situation that must be handled.
The first part they had to develop in the algorithm was making the software understanding what is the trailing edge of the dorsal fin, which is the notches I use for identifying the individuals.
We extract a fingerprint edge of a shark and then use an algorithmic technique called dynamic time warping to match the fin fingerprints. From that, we extract a score that gives us the likelihood of what shark belongs to what shark.
It proved to be very successful. I can match a photo among 700 other photos of sharks in less than a couple of minutes. and 80% of the time it is the correct match. And as first development, it is brilliant. It is better than we ever had. And the next step of having a system such as this matching software is the fact that we will be able for the first time to standardize the data collection of photo identification of white sharks worldwide.